We have a great story this week on Susan Coviello, who's she's from Essex, an Essex resident, a fixture. We call her a fixture because she's been a big part of Essex for a really long time. But she's the newest, the 2021 president of the Chamber of Commerce, the Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce, taking over from Tony Sapienza, who had quite a year with COVID. But we have a really great piece on her and how her background and her experience, everything she's contributed, and how it relates to where the chamber is right now and what it's facing over the next year. It's really interesting. Are you familiar with Susan Coviello? If you're not, you're one of the few.
Oh, yeah.
No, North Shore Health Project, right?
She's with the North Shore Health Project, and a lot of people know her for that because she's really transformed over the last, I think she's been there for 6 years. And when she took over, it was 2 people, and it was really focused on HIV and AIDS, although it did hepatitis C, and it's a nonprofit, healthcare community nonprofit, and they've dramatically expanded, 10 staff now, 6 years later, and dramatically bigger, and they're really sort of almost a model in the state for harm prevention, particularly with addiction services, hepatitis, HIV, all those indications. And so they do things like they had one of the state's first needle exchange programs, and they have Narcan programs. They're just really amazing in terms of what they've been able to do. But what that doesn't tell you is Susan's past. I know her because locally for Manchester and Essex, she was a very pivotal. She happens to always get involved with things on the verge of dramatic change. So she's either getting it done or she's very lucky. She got involved with the Essex school committee before regionalization, and then she oversaw regionalization, which was a big bear of a change.
Yeah.
And then she became the chairman of the newly merged district school committee. For 8 years, she was on that board afterwards. And then she ran for the BOS, and she was a member of the BOS for a long stretch of time. And what she accomplished in Essex as a selectman was Canomo Point, that little thing that happened about sort of re-engaging the and reasserting the new format of ownership after 100 years. That was a big deal, and connected to that. And she did that with Lisa O'Donnell. And she didn't do it alone, but she was there and a big part of it. She's not afraid of big challenges. And then the other thing she oversaw that she's particularly proud of is she oversaw the renovation of the and the saving of the town hall and the library in Essex, which was a multi-million-dollar, I think it was $5-6 million. It was going to be raised. They stopped it, and now it's this operational historic gem. I mean, it's such a beautiful building.
That's nice.
And it's enjoyed and it's used every day. So she was very much involved with that. That, of course, was paid for by funds that went into the Canomo Point Fund, right? So Canomo Point paid for the town hall. And the other thing I think of her as, and a lot of people do, is she was at the beginning of the formation of CAPA, Cape Ann Plein Air, which was incubated by the chamber, but then is now its own thing. But she's, I believe, the director of Cape Ann Plein Air still, but under her watch in 5 short years, and I know last year was a weird year, but it's now one of the premier plein air outdoor painting competitions in the world. It draws painters from like Russia and Canada and all sorts of things. So she's got her hands in a lot of pots. So back to the chamber, what people don't realize about the Cape Ann Chamber is it's got a ton of nonprofits in it. So here she is, she's at a nonprofit, but she's also connected to business. Oh, by the way, her husband and she have an antique store, Main Street Antiques in Essex. And a lot of people know her for that. It's probably why she got involved with the chamber in the first place. So she's got business experience. She's local. She's in Essex, which is very strategic. Only the second president in 99 years at the chamber is from Essex, and she's the second one, right? Yeah. So there, I just told you everything you need to know about Susan Coviello.
That's good. Well, cheers to Susan, and cheers to Tony Sapienza. You can go see the Blue Shutters Inn by Good Harbor Beach by the footbridge. It's a beautiful spot. Erika, you want to talk about the new town clerk?
Yeah, we have a new town clerk succeeding Christina St. Pierre, who, for 9 months, the town's been looking for a new town clerk. Diane Bucco is from Wenham. She's been Wenham's town clerk for the last 6 years. She's a real firecracker. She's really wonderful. We have a great sort of picture. We went over and shot her, socially distanced, of course. But she's an ex-school teacher. She's just really involved. She's organized. She's really got a lot of energy. She's going to be fantastic. So be nice to her if you want your beach sticker in a timely way. But she'll also be doing all the important stuff like the town elections, certifying the elections, annual town meeting, all the important stuff that town clerks have to do. What's interesting is I found, and I don't know if you know this, but in Wenham, their town clerk is elected.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting?
Know that, yeah.
One of the few towns in the Commonwealth that still do elections because that's how it used to always be done. Ours, of course, is not, as you know, because she just got hired. But I think that it's sort of interesting. She ran for election to be town. So it shows her passion and her singular interest in being a town clerk.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
We have a great article this week explaining the differences between the vaccines.
Yes, exactly. Zoe Brown, I got to tell you, it's my daughter.
Oh.
She is, she's into molecular genetics and chemistry, and she did a great article actually breaking down, it was her idea to break down and demystify all of the vaccine options, where they come from, what the heck is an mRNA or mRNA vaccine, what are they, how do they work, why do you need 70 to 80% of people to have them to reach herd immunity, and why are they safe? And it was a really great piece. I couldn't have read it.
I think everybody should be reading that piece right now.
I tell you, it actually has a lot of practicality. I mean,
yeah, maybe the Washington Post will pick it up.
Yeah, they should. Anyway,
Erika,
so a lot going on.
do you want to touch upon the bandwidth battles real quickly?
Well, I wouldn't call it a bandwidth battle, but we have a really good piece by our digital director, Christy King, and she broke down sort of FCC stuff I can't navigate, FCC guidelines and bandwidth, but particularly in Manchester and Essex. And what are the different bandwidth levels you need for different activities, from Zoom to, just sort of playing music? And why is it that it's relevant now that we're all working from home in Manchester and Essex? And by the way, around Cape Ann, it's not like, it has to do with all of us.
Right. Bandwidth is a hot subject everywhere. So we should all read that too.
It's true.
I'm going to quote you on that.
Folks,
bandwidth. Yeah.
Subscribe to the Cricket right now. Clip out this week's article from Zoe Brown and put it on the fridge just like Erika.